Hello and welcome back to my channel, which if you don't already know, it's all about style and confidence for the 50+ woman. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about something which is really important to have in your wardrobe. It will help you create outfits and it will also help you with all of those items in your wardrobe that you have nothing else to go with. So if you haven't already guessed, today's video is all about neutral colours. So let's get into it. So first of all, what are neutrals? Well, neutrals are colours that will go with lots of other colours. If you have a foundation of neutrals in your wardrobe, then you're always going to have something to wear. And if you've got any colours in your wardrobe that you don't have anything else in that colour, then chances are you're going to be able to put them with a neutral and you'll be able to create outfits with them. Now, when we talk about neutrals, there are some which work for everybody, and these are what we call universal colours, and there are 3 of them. First of all, we have taupe, then we have pewter, and then we have navy. Now, navy could come in a light navy or it could be a dark navy. So I've got a lighter one there and I've got a darker one there. Now, these neutrals, as I said, they're called universal because they work on you whatever colouring you've got. However, there are others that you can wear depending on your colouring. But if you really don't know which colours suit you and you're thinking about putting some neutrals into your wardrobe, then I would recommend at least starting with one of these 3, either taupe, pewter or navy. Now, I know a lot of you have lots of navy in your wardrobe and it can get a little bit boring if that's all you've got. And when you're building a capsule wardrobe, I think it's important to have, say, 2 neutrals at least in your wardrobe. If you have a formal job, you go to work in an office, you might need more than 2. And of course, navy is always a good one to have. The other one which works for most people is a charcoal grey. But if you do have very warm colouring, then greys aren't typically the best colours for you. So what I'm going to do is run through each of the different colour types and tell you which neutrals will work really well on you, as well as these that I've already shown you. Now, if you don't know what your colour type is, I do have other videos which I will link for you, which will explain how the colour dominants work. There are 6 of them: light, deep, warm, cool, bright, or you might have heard it called clear, and soft, or you may have heard it called muted. So for each of those different colour dominants, there are other colours which are going to look perhaps better than some of these universal neutrals. So if you're somebody who's a light person, which means that you will have very light hair, you'll have very delicate complexion with very light skin, and you may have to pencil in your eyebrows because they're very fair as well. And if you are a light person, something like a navy could be too heavy for you. What you want to do is try and balance that light in your look with light colours. So neutrals for you that would be really good are something like a light or a silvery grey, and something like what I call a rose beige. So it's got a slight pinky tone to it. Now, those are going to be much better colours for you to have as neutrals in your wardrobe than something that is quite as heavy as a charcoal grey. You can see it sort of is much heavier than those 2 colours. So keeping to these light colours with your neutrals, and then you can mix into that all your other pretty light colours as well, like the blues and the pinks and the lilacs that work really well for you. If you have deep colouring, which means you have very dark hair, very dark eyes, you could have an olive complexion, you could have a black skin, then you will look better in strong dark colours. So something like the pewter and the taupe could be a little bit too wishy-washy for you. So you're going to look better in some of those stronger, darker colours. And charcoal grey obviously is a good one. The dark navy would be a good one, but then others that you could try as well. One of my absolute favourites is chocolate brown, or you could try a really deep pine green. And you can also mix them with other rich, strong colours like red, like purple, and some darker blues as well. So for you, those stronger, darker colours are going to be much better as a neutral. And then if you've got warm colouring, and somebody who has warm colouring will almost certainly have red hair or lots of golden red in their hair, and they may well have freckles, they could have green eyes or blue eyes, they could also have brown eyes, but they're definitely going to have that sort of warm red to them. And so they look better in warmer colours. And of course greys, and this pewter kind of falls into the grey, the charcoal grey, and these sort of darker navies aren't so good on you. You can wear them, you can get away with them, but there are some better neutrals for you. And those are going to be much more of the sort of warmer autumnal colours. So something like an olive green or a camel is perfect for you. And so then you could mix these neutrals with your oranges, your other greens, limes, yellows, and they will look fantastic for you. And then moving on to the opposite of the warm, we have the cool. Now obviously the cool person has a kind of steely look about them. They'll have grey hair, they might have blue eyes or grey eyes, and they'll have a pink tone to their complexion. And they are the people who can get away with these greys and obviously with navy. So for them, I have picked another grey and a light navy. So I've got a light navy, a dark navy. Both of them would work for the cool person. If you're getting a little bit bored of wearing navy with everything, then greys will work for you as well. And they could be this sort of medium tone of grey. They could be a more icy grey in the summertime. They'd be quite good to mix with your pretty pinks and lilacs. And then obviously all of your other colours. So your cool reds like raspberry and the sort of sea greens that are really good for the cool person as well. And then moving on to the bright or the clear person. Now these are the people who can get away with black as a neutral, but black on its own is a little bit boring for them. So what actually looks better is when they mix it with a bright colour, because the clear or bright person has a lot of contrast about their look. They would have dark hair but very pale skin and perhaps brilliant jewel-like eyes. And so because they've got a lot of contrast going on, they look good when they're dressed in bright or contrasting colours. So yes, they can wear black. You could also use a black brown, which is quite dark, but it looks much better when you mix it either with a bright colour or a light colour. So even if you're wearing black as your neutral, think about mixing it with one of your bright or light colours. Another good neutral for a bright person is True Blue. It's got that little bit of brightness about it, and if you imagine that with something lighter, so perhaps with a pale blue, so that you've got that contrast going on that works really well with your bright contrasting colouring. And then finally we have the soft or the muted person. Now this person is somebody who doesn't have a lot of contrast about their look. Everything is beautifully blended together. So they might have soft brown eyes and soft brown, perhaps highlighted hair, and their skin tone would be of a medium depth. They could also have blue eyes, and if they do have blue eyes, they're likely to have a soft blonde hair. Quite often the soft person is the one who likes to get their hair highlighted, because quite often they can describe themselves as mousy, which I don't think is a particularly nice description for them. I like to call them the Armani woman, because they look good in all those soft muted colours. So they can definitely wear the taupe and the pewter. These would look particularly good on them, but they could also add in something like a rose brown and something like a stone. And the other thing about the soft person is that they actually look good wearing lots of neutrals together, so creating that sort of blended look that goes from perhaps a medium depth to slightly darker, or a medium depth to slightly lighter, where they're mixing lots of the same colour together. And that could be you know, these kind of neutrals look really expensive. If you imagine it as a pair of lovely trousers and a cashmere sweater, then that would look fantastic for the soft person. So it's all about working out which are good neutrals for you and then how to wear them. So a quick recap really, for the light person, they can mix their neutrals with other light colours and with some brighter colours as well. For the deep person, they can look good in two dark neutrals together, but they also look fantastic when they mix their neutrals with something a bit brighter, like perhaps a pop of red. And then for the warm person, again, they look good with their neutrals mixed together. So if you think of the camel and the olive green mixed together, but then they can also bring in some of their lovely warm colours, so they could throw in a yellow with that. For the cool person does look quite good with a little bit of contrast, so they could wear their navy with a lighter pink perhaps, or they could wear their navy with a light aqua colour. And also they can use neutrals that are either light or dark, so they could use the navy, but equally they could use a lighter silver grey. And then for the bright person, as I said, they need contrast. So if they're going to wear black, or if they're going to wear a black brown, or if they're going to wear a dark navy, then they're going to look much better if they mix it either with a light icy colour or with a bright colour. And then, as I said, the soft person is the one who looks great with all those neutrals mixed together, or with other colours that are of the same depth. So something that's not too much lighter or too much darker or too much brighter. They look good in soft, muted colours all blended together. Now I wanted to show you how to use neutrals in your wardrobe. I've put together a couple of outfits for you. Now the first one is wearing just a neutral on its own. So I'm showing you here an outfit where I'm just wearing the chocolate brown without any other colours, without any other contrast. And then the second outfit is putting two neutrals together. So in this one, I've put the chocolate brown. I've now mixed it with taupe, with some accessories and a jacket. And then in the third outfit, I've mixed it with an accent colour. So this time I've mixed it with one of my favourite lovely bright oranges, with a cardigan and some accessories. And then in this final outfit, I've taken my neutral colour and I've mixed it with several other accent colours. So I've picked up a little pop of the orange, I've also got some mustard in there, and I've also got this lovely sagey green in the cardigan. So that kind of shows you how you can use your neutrals. Now, if you have got pieces in your wardrobe that don't go with anything else, I did do another video on this about what I call orphan items, and I will link that for you. The easiest way to make these items work is to add in some neutral colours to your wardrobe. If you open your wardrobe doors and you find that you really can't put outfits together, it may be that you've got lots of colours in there and no neutrals. So think about which could be your best neutral out of some of these that I've suggested, and bring some of those colours into your wardrobe, because then you'll find if you've got, say, a print that has got lots of different colours in it, you'll find that it will go with one of your neutrals. Or if you want to mix several colours together, a great way to do that is by adding in a neutral. So let's say I wanted to bring this lime green into my wardrobe with a yellow. Mixing that with a neutral of olive makes it work. It kind of makes the whole thing come together much better. And if we wanted to do a similar thing for cool colouring, again, if I wanted to make something like this beautiful orchid colour with amethyst, if I then pair that with the light navy, again, it looks really nice together. So perhaps if you imagine that's a print of a blouse and that's the jacket that you put with it and the trousers. I hope you found that little lesson on how to use neutrals useful. If you did, then please do give this video a thumbs up. It does help me to work out what you like to see. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, then you can do that here. And if you click on the little bell, you'll get notified when I create a new video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section and I'll get back to you. If you are interested in finding out more about colour, which are your best colours and how to make them work for you, I do have a colour service which I will also link in the description box, or alternatively you can get lots of help on not just colour but everything about style in my membership, Stylish at 50, and I'll also leave you a link for that below as well. So thank you very much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.